I keep thinking back to it. Mayor Quinton Lucas was on this morning for his usual Thursday slot, and we were talking about the shooting at 13th and Grand on Sunday morning at about 3 a.m. And listen, he will tell you, and he's not wrong, that he doesn't have full control of the Kansas City Police Department, but he is one of 5 Board of Police Commissioners. He's certainly got a say in what goes on with the police department. And I still fail to understand how at 3 in the morning on a weekend night, there are not multiple cops patrolling Power and Light. I mean, up and down Grand, up and around T-Mobile, just doing loops, Main Street, Grand, 13th, 14th, 12th. I mean, that whole area. Now, maybe there's one and they just happen to miss a massive group of kids spilling over into a parking lot, brawling for a while before shots are fired. I've seen the videos. I've been sent the videos from this brawl at the 13th and Grand parking lot. As I understand it, I can't share them because right now they're part of police evidence that they're using to investigate and build a case. But it's dozens of kids, and the mayor's right to note, it looks like white kids in this parking lot, beefing, fighting. I mean, it's a bad look. But if you got a cop on patrol and you see dozens of kids spilling over into a parking lot, they don't just magically appear there, right? Something happens somewhere that leads a big group of people at 3 in the morning to end up in a parking lot. That's just how it works. Common sense. It's human nature, right? So it would seem to me it'd be good to have that. And that is something I brought up this morning to the mayor, and here's what it sounded like.
But, Pete, I get what you're saying, but is it their job to stand outside of every private parking lot? So you're telling me when this business owner, who for some reason is too cheap to spend $50,000 on a gate, but you're telling me that this business owner can't be the one who actually provides security there?
Well, he's paying you taxes. He's paying you taxes to your city to patrol the city, right? I mean, that's part of what he's paying taxes for.
I'm intrigued. So taxes are being paid to patrol basically his private lot. He had a bunch of people who got in a fight on his private lot. Let's put walls up and all that sort of stuff. So if I get in a drunken fight in my house tonight and all of that, and KCPD doesn't show up prior to a guy shooting me, it's their fault?
You tell me at 913-408-7957, because some of you might perceive this as like me being against the cops and Mayor Lucas being the pro-cop guy who's got their backs and saying this is not their job. I'm sorry. I disagree with that. I think patrolling is part of what the police are supposed to do, especially when you know it's 3 a.m. outside of an entertainment district where your bar's just closed. I guess I think that's part of what you pay taxes for. Now, it's not a direct analogy. I see what the mayor's saying. If someone gets into a fight in your house, it's not the job of the police to show up. That's not apples to apples. Okay, someone getting into a fight in your house is not the same as, hey, we've got an open parking lot. This parking lot is also right by an entertainment district that has a lot of drunk people in it. Let's be smart about this. No, this is what you do. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Okay, there's a reason that you have more cops at Arrowhead Stadium after a Chiefs game than you do after a Royals game, just based on numbers and what you expect out of football versus baseball. We understand that. It's how it's done. So it's not me being anti-police. It's just, hey, let's be smart about how we deploy patrol. And yes, patrolling is part of the job in policing. Now, if it's because they're too short-staffed, because we're down to 300 cops, and they're doing all these other calls, and we don't have the bodies, well, then let's just have that conversation. Let's talk about the fact that the police are short-staffed. Let's talk about the fact that the cops don't have enough people to do basic patrolling of Power and Light at 3 in the morning. I'm good with that conversation. But I don't think it's unreasonable to say, I kind of want to see the cops around, especially that part of town at that time of night. 913-408-7957. That's how you join us on KCMO Talk Radio. Let's go to, first up, we'll do Corey and Lee Summit. Go ahead, Corey.
Hey there, Pete. Yeah, just listening to Quinton's response to the crime that took place over the weekend. I think it's just one of those issues that America is just starting to have with local leaders, especially liberals, that they just don't take accountability and try to find resolution to the actual problem. They just make excuses on why it happened instead of saying, yes, this happened. It's unfortunate. It's something that should not take place in our city, and this is what we're going to do about it to solve it.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I do think, and I asked him this as well. Thank you, Corey. I asked him as well. I said, this whole proposal about like telling parking lots to get their own security, is this something you think will work, or is this basically you being at your wit's end? And he said it was the former, and I understand why he said that, because admitting the latter is not a good look. But it's a stretch. It's a major stretch. Let's go to Mike and Shawnee. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Pete. Thanks for taking the call. This really irritated me earlier this morning when the mayor tosses out $50,000 like it's, money for candy or something like that. That's a lot of capital, number one. Number two, I own a building that I have a parking lot in front of, and I have no trespassing signs posted on that. Is the mayor saying that I'm supposed to now enforce that no trespassing law myself? What happens if I do that? What happens if I have private security, which I can't afford, or if I go over there myself and try to chase these people off the lot? Is that my job now? What am I supposed to do? I mean, he is so out of touch that it is incredible. I couldn't believe it this morning when he was going off like that.
Well, thank you, Mike. I mean, basically, it's like we're getting to a world where are we going to be implementing vigilante justice around here? Can't rely on the cops. Can't have basic patrol. Like, what are you paying taxes for? Trash pickup, potholes, and, the occasional snow removal? Let's go to Randy in Napoleon. What's up, Randy?
Hey, I find it with Quinton Lucas, nothing personal against the man, but quite honestly, it's hard to have a face-to-face conversation when you have to look behind you because he's looking for what butt to kiss. He wanted to get rid of the cops, and now he's excusing for the cops. And the bottom line is, like you said, what are you going to do? Are we going to set up the Wild West where people have to protect their own property and then they get prosecuted like the cops get prosecuted for enforcing the law? I mean, it's a no-win situation they put him in. The other thing is, too, police officers in neighborhoods, they know the fauna, they know the topography of what they're dealing with, and if they see a large group of kids moving in, they're going to know that and should know that, or you're not giving them the tools they need. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's well said there, Randy. Bill in Raytown. What's up, Bill?
Yeah, you've had you've had Quinton Lucas on several times, and I hear him. He seems like a nice guy, but presents himself as well polished and educated, and then just the most common sense things he can't figure it out. And it's just this is another example why the Chiefs won't stay at Arrowhead and they'll move on. There's just something lacking in that culture of academia. And, it's starting to sound kind of cliche when we say that, but the reality is either they don't know what they're doing, they just can't figure the most common sense things out, no hands-on, no real practical experience in life, or they just they have somebody else's, there's another reason, and there's probably something more sinister behind the scenes, and that's just an opinion of mine. Every time I hear him, he's just nails on a chalkboard. I know you got to probably be nice to him to some degree, or he won't come on your show, and you don't really hold him to some of the accountability I'd like to see. But at the same time, that's all we get out of him. He'll run the other way as quick as he can.
Well, listen, he's been coming on the show every day for 5+ years now, every week for 5+ years now. So I think it's a balancing act, right? I think I ask him the questions that are appropriate that others in town would ask, but I respect the office as well. And that's kind of how I handle this.